Well, today on Hey You Mummy, we're talking stress and anxiety with friend and stress and anxiety expert, Becki Houlston.
Thank you for having me. And talking
really
about
nice.
my favourite subject of all time, stress and anxiety.
Which isn't a favourite
my
thing for a lot of
least
people.
favourite.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only person that loves that topic in the world. But yeah, thanks so much for having me on here, because I've got some really useful information for you and things that hopefully should make a difference to how you feel.
And some tools to help us too.
Definitely.
Becki, tell us, what is stress and anxiety? Is there a difference?
First of all, let me start with stress. So stress is different than being under pressure. When you're under pressure, it's short term. And the difference you can tell is you remain resourceful when you're under pressure. You know, lots of us thrive under pressure, or think we do. But it does turn to stress. You know, to check in with that for a month, that's fine. You're resourceful, you're ready to go, everything. You know, some people really reach their peak then. Check in a year later and it might have turned into stress. And physically, there's a lot of differences between pressure and stress. So first of all, you've got two nervous systems.
Okay.
You've got your, ready? You ready for this? Pen and paper? But it is important to know, because we all say, oh, I'm stressed or I've got anxiety, but we don't really know what we're talking about. We don't know what's happening to us. So I think it can be really helpful to get this stuff. So you've got two nervous systems. We've got many more, but your key ones are, it's called your sympathetic nervous system and your parasympathetic nervous system. Simply, what happens with stress is when your sympathetic nervous system is overused and your parasympathetic nervous system is underused. This one is part of your fight flight, but there's also freeze and submit. More about that another time. And then your parasympathetic nervous system is the one that calms you down. And it's like a switch. So this one is stuck
If only
on.
we could find that switch.
Right. That's what I spend my day doing.
Yeah.
If this one gets stuck on and never gets to switch over, that is what becomes stress. And that is when we start to have physical symptoms of stress, so gut problems, skin problems, heart problems, as well as, you know, some of the more associated emotional symptoms of stress. So that's in a nutshell stress. Now, anxiety is when the nervous system is responding to threat. So for all of us human beings, being alive is our primary reason. You know, all our systems are about staying alive. But so if a tiger was going to jump out on us now, it would be normal for us to run, fight or flight, or in some cases
Do something.
freeze or submit.
Yeah.
Now, if you're freeze, you're probably going to be lunch when the tiger jumps out.
I think you probably would anyway. I'm not a very fast runner.
So this is a normal reaction and we need it. And in any of you that have found yourself in a dangerous situation, you know, it's an automated system. Any fear of needing to be liked or being right or being wrong falls away when this survival system kicks in. So it's a bit out of our control, or it feels like that. You know, so what then happens is when the sense of a threat occurs, this system activates. So as I said, a tiger should activate it, or perhaps a car crash, or, you know, something like that. You know, when you have
Something
one of those near
obvious,
miss.
yeah.
Right. However, what shouldn't be activating that threat system is fear of failure, fear of not being good enough, a fear of not being liked, or getting things wrong, a fear of being stupid. Some of those things.
A lot of things that particularly mums do, you know, we put all those pressures on ourselves, you know, not being the perfect mum and, you know, not being the perfect parent in general, or being the perfect wife, sister, all of that, you know.
What are the stats
Absolutely.
for this? Like, how many people suffer with? It must be
One in four people are experiencing stress and anxiety, or some of those won't even recognise that, because what they're dealing with is the symptoms of stress and anxiety, not realising that their gut problems, their IBS, their heart issues, their diabetes is actually, you know, I see a lot of fellas who have learnt not to feel. So their body has a way of saying, I can't cope anymore. Here's a heart problem. So, you know, there's lots of ways that stress tries to say, something's wrong, we need to make changes.
I wonder if that 1 in 4 is slightly different. If you just
Well,
did
there's
a
three of
survey
us here.
And I'm just looking in this room.
Parents,
There's three of us here,
Working
so-
parents could well up the ante on that.
I know for sure I've dealt with anxiety. I do often deal with that sick, horrible, cloying feeling that you get when you're overwhelmed and there's too much to do and you feel sick about it.
It's quite a frightening thing when your physical takes over from the mental. And of course, like, I think it's easy to identify, isn't it, that moment where you think, I can't cope with all of this and I can't do this and the kids are doing this and I need to get this done and I can't do that. that's kind of something that you're used to, but when physically, the panic attacks, the anxious state, and that kind of feeling your heart going faster, and like you said, breakouts, the gut problems, stuff that is completely out of your control. Because I think it's weird, is it not? I don't know. Maybe it's normal that you feel like you can control things mentally and bring yourself back down.
So that's what's called a safety behaviour, and that is a response that we create, our minds create, to try and make us feel safe, when the reality is we're terrified. The trouble is, most of our safety behaviours don't make us feel safe. They don't work. So take worrying. Worrying is one of the biggest safety behaviours. The reason someone worries is, on some level, the brain has learned that once upon a time they thought about something and prevented the negative situation from happening. So the brain says, well, that's a way to get safety. I know, I'll worry. Oh, I've worried this much. That hasn't worked. Well, perhaps if I worry this much, maybe then I'll get that sense of safety. So you have all these negative safety behaviours that replace the need for someone to feel safe.
So what can we do?
Well, first of all, I want to point out, and I think the biggest message to get through is that stress and anxiety are not the problem. Both stress and anxiety are symptoms of a broader issue. So the way to get rid of stress and anxiety, and yes, you can get rid of them, even if you're dealing with high intense emotional situational stress. So for example, I've worked with people who are terminally ill, for example. That is a really traumatic and stressful situation to find yourself in. Yet you can reduce those feelings of threat by changing the way you feel.
Becki, you're mentioning quite big things there, like a terminal illness, but as a parent, it can be that moment of burning the dinner when you've got 3 hungry kids, and that is your intense moment.
I think one of the things, certainly in Western parenting, is that self-neglect is huge, and trying to juggle everything. And what happens is, when you're empty and you keep giving, at some point that's going to have an impact. So
you can't pour from an empty cup.
So so then the dinner gets burnt, and then the reaction to that situation is disproportionate than it would be if your self-care is high. And if you'd had sleep as well. Let's put that into the factor as well. So it isn't, I think the important thing to start to combat stress and anxiety is to understand that it isn't the problem. It is a symptom. And once you start to look at that, you start to get a little bit more control over it. Having said that, as you both pointed out, it is a physical response, and it can be really even more scary when your body starts to give you heart palpitations, sweats, not being able to breathe, and suddenly that's super out of your control. Which, if you're already feeling unsafe, and then that happens, that's going to make you feel even more unsafe.
So let's do it.
Right.
What do we do?
This is a good one. So the first thing you need to do, and honestly, it looks and seems so simple, and you'll think, God, how can this change anything? But I tell you, I use it day in, day out, and it really does. So first thing you need to do is think about a time in your life where you felt really safe. So it's not happy.
Is it a close your eyes situation?
If that's easier for you, you can close your eyes. You will be closing your eyes in a moment when we continue with it. But just for now, I want you to have a little search around your life and think of a time when you felt totally safe.
Oh God, I'm coming up with something weird.
Now, for some of you, you'll go bang, straight away. Here's a safe memory. For those of you, especially those of you that suffer quite a lot of anxiety, this is going to be a harder challenge for you. And that in itself is interesting. So if you're struggling now to find a safe memory, then I want you to just be curious about that and think, God, that's interesting. It's hard for me to find a safe place. So therefore, this exercise is absolutely for you. If you really can't find a safe place, then what I would say in the meantime is to imagine one. So create one. Create something that gives you the feeling of safety. It could be a place you've seen on TV, or it could be some music that you listen to in a place. Whatever it is for you, just create that place that makes you feel safe. But for those of you that do have a safe memory, and for those of you that are creating one, then what I'd like you to do is cross your arms and then just start to tap the top of your shoulders alternately. Now, here's a geek alert. This is called bilateral stimulation, and it's very good at getting those nervous systems switched over. So now what I'd like you to do is close your eyes and keep tapping. That's right. And now I'd like you to drop into that safe memory as if you were there. Seeing what you're seeing, hearing what you're hearing, and feeling what you're feeling. And if there are any colours that are important, just bring those colours right in. If there are any sounds that are important, bring those sounds right in. Make them sharp. So I want you to see what you're seeing, hear what you're hearing, and feel what you're feeling. As you recall this memory of feeling totally safe.
Is it weird that you might start to feel a bit weepy?
I'm feeling the same.
Sorry.
That's okay. If that happens, it's a good sign. It means that nervous system is switching over. Okay? And if for anyone it comes up too strong, you can just stop a minute and then perhaps go back to the safe memory. See what you're seeing, feel what you're feeling, and hear what you're hearing. As you experience this memory of feeling totally safe. And then what I'd like you to do is for your body to take this memory and feed it to every cell in your body until every cell in your body has this memory of feeling totally safe. As you see what you're seeing, hear what you're hearing, and feel what you're feeling. And then when you're ready, come gently back to now, but bring the feeling of safety with you. That's right.
Gosh.
Go and have
Everyone just goes sobbing in the corner. Oh gosh.
That is what we call tears of release.
Okay,
right?
That's good.
And that is a good sign. It means that your nervous system has been reminded of what it feels like to feel safe. So you can practice that, and you can just use it as well when you feel unsafe. And we'd be really interested in hearing what
yeah. I hope you were joining in just then.
Hope you had your eyes closed.
I know. Oh gosh, I know. God, I don't really want to watch this one back. That's such a simple thing, but that did actually feel like quite a powerful little exercise to do. And it means that I think for when you're having those moments, whether it's you've just had that really awful stressful morning and you've just dropped the kids off to school and you're back in the car, if you're feeling it all then, use this technique. Do the same when you've burnt the dinner. And if the kids are safe and okay, just take a moment and go and tap your shoulders.
Yes.
You can do it anywhere
to trigger that happy thing, isn't it? A friend of mine had said to me about walking through an airport, do the happy memory, and I think she had said about squeezing your fingers together, and she said just let that always be a trigger for that happy memory. So when you're in that moment of heart racing and
and the good thing about that, it reaches your physical body, and that's what we need to calm. The body can then tell the mind, shh, all is well.
Like that.
So you need to feel safe to then feel happy. So hopefully you've enjoyed using that today.
I feel like we've only scratched the surface today on these kinds of issues as well. So if you like this, do let us know, because we'll do some more, videos like this.
Squeeze some more tips.
Hey Mummy Becki tips. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, please do let us know if that's been any good to you. And big thank you, Missy.
Thank you so much.
And you can find out more about Becki online if you want to. Is it BeckiHoulston.com?
It is, yes.
Marvellous. We'll see you on the next video from Hey Mummy.